What's going on, everybody? It's Mr. Cruz, your band and orchestra teacher. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the chromatic scale. More specifically, I'm going to be talking about the chromatic scale from the viewpoint of a piano keyboard diagram. So on the screen right now, I have a piano keyboard diagram. I just Googled imaged for one of these, and I found this. And then I also did a Google search for virtual online piano. So this one is from recursivearts.com. This was one of the top 3 virtual pianos. I like this one. You can use any other virtual piano that you want that you can find on Google. Just Google virtual online piano, and the top 3 search results should yield you one of these online keyboards. All you got to do is just click on it and, you get sounds. Okay, so the chromatic scale. The chromatic scale, what is it? It's a series of 12 tones arranged in half steps. So there are 12 pitches in the chromatic scale. And to play a chromatic scale, okay, you have to play every single note ascending in half steps and descending in half steps. Okay, so I like using the keyboard because you can see how the keys relate to each other in half steps. When you look at a clarinet or a trumpet, you don't see the half steps right away. You got to memorize fingerings. So it's really important to visualize this to get a better understanding of the chromatic scale. I've been teaching the chromatic scale for quite some time, and the students that have a hard time learning the chromatic scale are the students that don't understand how the piano keyboard is laid out. Whereas if you take that extra 10-15 minutes to learn how the piano keyboard is laid out, you'll have more success playing the chromatic scale on your instrument, whether it be the trombone, the trumpet, tuba, violin, cello, clarinet, flute. It's a lot easier because you can visualize this. Okay, so let's look at the piano keyboard diagrams, and I want you guys to all observe and notice that there's a pattern in the keyboard layout. You'll notice that there are white keys and that there are black keys. With the black keys, you'll notice that they're arranged in groups of 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. That's the pattern. You're not going to see a group of 4 black keys or a group of 5 black keys or anything like that. The pattern is always 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Same thing up here on this virtual keyboard. You'll notice it's in 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Down here on this piano keyboard diagram that I just pulled from Google Images, you'll notice that on the black keys, there are 2 note names. Okay, these are what are called your enharmonic equivalents. An enharmonic equivalent is 2 different spellings, two different spellings for the same pitch. For example, I'm clicking on this C sharp D flat black key. That's over here. Okay, this is a C sharp and that's a D flat. So you could spell this pitch. You could spell this pitch 2 different ways, C sharp or D flat. It's kind of like a name. Like, for example, the name Robert, the nickname for Robert is Bob, right? Or the nickname for Joseph is Joe. So it's a different spelling for the same person. In music, okay, the enharmonic equivalent, it's a different spelling for the same pitch. So this is D flat, that's C sharp, and vice versa. So C sharp is the same as D flat, D sharp is the same as E flat, F sharp is the same as G flat, G sharp is the same as A flat, A sharp is the same as B flat. Okay, those are your enharmonic equivalents. Another thing I want you all to notice that on the piano keyboard is that there is no black key between E and F and B and C. So when we're learning our chromatic scale, as beginners, when we're learning our chromatic scale, you're not going to really see E sharp, or you're not going to see F flat. You're not going to see B sharp, or you're not going to see C flat. There's no black key in between. Now, is there such a thing as E sharp and F flat and B sharp and C flat? Absolutely there is. But for starting out right now, you're not going to see that. So after E is F, after B is C, lower than F is E, and lower than C is B. Okay, so you don't see a black key in there. The next thing we're going to do is, the next thing I'm going to explain for you guys is the order of the piano keyboard in half steps, ascending and descending. Okay, ascending is when we go left to right. Okay, meaning lowest to highest. That's ascending. Descending is when we go right to left, highest to lowest. Okay, highest to lowest, descending. When I spell out the chromatic scale and I'm ascending, I'm going to say the sharped note as we're ascending, because a sharp raises a note a half step. Okay, so if we want to raise notes, and we're going to ascend, and we're going to go up, let's say sharps. When descending, I'm going to say the flats. Okay, because what does a flat do to a note? A flat lowers a note a half step. Okay, so descending, lowering, flats. Okay, I want to keep all the terms kind of similar or synonymous almost. So that's your these are your keys on the piano keyboard right here. Okay, so follow along with me. Okay, I'm going to start on this C. You could start on any C that you want, but I'm going to start here in the middle. Okay, I want you all to follow me as I ascend in half steps using a piano keyboard. Okay, so here we go. C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. That was ascending starting on C. Were you able to follow that? Okay, here it is again in half steps. Try to follow along. C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. Okay, again, that was ascending in half steps starting from C. How about descending in half steps starting from this C over here? Descending in half steps. Okay, please try to follow the pattern that I'm playing here. C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D flat, C. Okay, we're able to follow along. Let's try that again. C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D flat, C. If you weren't able to follow along with those patterns, feel free to rewind and try that again. This is really important that you understand how this is laid out. So that's what we just did here was we played the chromatic scale. On this keyboard diagram, I played the chromatic scale ascending and descending starting on C. You can start on any letter that you want. And we did that going up in half steps. Okay. Descending C, B, A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D flat, C. What does that all sound like on the keyboard? Let me play it for you really quick. And descending. All right, so that's what the chromatic scale sounds like in one octave. You might have noticed up here that there was a display. Okay, see, and you can look at the display and what the letters are. The only drawback with this display is the display only knows how to say the letter name for the black key one way. So even though this is C sharp and D flat, the display is not going to show you D flat. Okay, this one is D sharp. Even though it's also E flat, the display up here is not going to show E flat. That's what this keyboard diagram that I provided down here is for. So that's your chromatic scale starting on C. I know some of you are going to start on G. Some of you are going to start on B flat, and then most string players are going to start on D or G or A. So this is the chromatic scale. I highly recommend you guys all go on this website, Recursive Arts, or just Google for a virtual online piano and just try playing the chromatic scale. Just try playing the chromatic scale on the virtual piano and make sure that you get the notes in order. Also, find a piano keyboard diagram. You know what? I'm going to put this on Schoology and on halebands.org. Go ahead and use the search bar on halebands.org for piano keyboard diagram. I believe Schoology also has a search bar, little magnifying glass icon. Just type in piano keyboard diagram, and then you should be able to see this image in your materials section. So that's the chromatic scale. Okay, one more time, starting from C, ascending: C, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. Descending: C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D, D flat, C. Now, where do you go from here? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take out your scale sheet for your instrument that we provided for you in class. Go to chromatic scale number 4. And then the next thing you're going to do is, while you have that out, is go to my next video where I make a demonstration of how to play your chromatic scale on your instrument. I go over all the fingerings. Excuse me. I go over all the fingerings for your chromatic scale. Okay, and I show that on the video. You can also use the fingering chart on the back of your white books, your sound innovation books. You can use the fingering chart. If you actually follow the fingering chart from lowest to highest, you're actually playing a chromatic scale as well. So after understanding how this video works and everything that I explained here, go find the video for your instrument where I explain how to play the chromatic scale on your instrument. If you have any questions, please leave me a Schoology message or send me an email through our district email. If you're not a student of my band program or orchestra program and you have a question, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll see if I can help you out. All right, good luck with this, and I hope you practice a lot.